Hello and welcome to the MoreCoin YouTube channel where we talk about all the ways we are stacking more coins. If you like today's video, hit like and subscribe and click that notification bell so you know anytime we make a new video. Today we are talking about WhaleFarm. I don't usually cover things that are on the Binance Smart Chain simply because I primarily use Polygon. But this may be coming over to Polygon, so I figured why not do a video now and give anyone a heads up who's on the Polygon network when this comes around. All right, first things first, we're going to head over to Rugdock and see what they have to say. We can see that their assessment is at some risk. There is an 8% transfer. Wow, 8% transfer tax. That's insane. Essentially, that means that when you buy $100 worth, you'd pay $8 worth to buy it. You'd pay $8 when you stake it. You'd pay $8 to unstake it, and you'd pay another $8 to sell it. That is fucking wild. Anyway, moving on. They have an anti-whale limiting transfers to 12.5% of the total supply. They've updated that. It's actually set to 1% now. The deposit fee is capped at 4%. It has a harvest lockup and a 3% referral fee. We head over to the website. We can see here that their harvest lockup timer is set for 2 days and 17 hours from now. From what I gather, no one can harvest any of the rewards until this happens, and then everyone can harvest at the exact same time. Anyway, the token is trading at $207 right now. It has a market cap of 274 million, a circulating supply of 661, and 1,203,000 of them are locked up right now. So I can tell you right off the bat, before even going any deeper in, if all of those tokens hit at the same time in 2 days and 17 hours, this price is going to get demolished. There's no way that they can handle that much supply hitting the market without an insane amount of demand to keep the price high. Anyway, let's keep going over this. They have a little over 3,000 burns so far. They have a max trans amount of 13. Their emissions are set to 10 whales per block, which is really high. And I'm going to assume that they have super high APRs on their farms too. And they do. APR for whale BUSD is 3,572,000, and everything's like that. They're just extremely high APRs on here. If you go into their pools, the APRs are extremely high as well. And normally I would cover all of them, but I don't even think there's a need to right now. Let's take a quick look at their docs. Right, I pretty much have an idea of what this project is doing anyway. Let's look at the transfer tax. Every transaction of whale will be charged 8% transfer tax, which is insanely high. If you just buy and sell it, you're losing 16% right there. Right off the rip, just buying and selling it, 16%. If you buy, stake, and then try to sell it later, you're losing 32%. I'm sure that they have a bunch of audits. Let's take a look at the token itself. They say 4%, but it's actually 8%. The devs, here we go. 9.09% to the dev team to ensure essential growth of the project during the first week of farming. Whale and Dev Wallet will be transferred to a WhaleFarm locker contract daily. I don't know what that means, but this right here, it really makes me firmly believe that this is definitely a Ponzi scheme. And let me explain why. Normally I'd go way deeper into a project, but this one just feels so much like a Ponzi to me from the very beginning that I don't even see any real reason to. I went into the Telegram, I asked them about what happens to the 9% that the devs get, and they said that it goes into a locker that they don't have access to unless they make a call for it, which would let everybody know that they're trying to get the money, and they would have about 24 hours to do whatever they want to do before they'd have access to the money in that locker. I don't know about you, but I don't know too many people who are constantly watching the contracts for these kind of things. Even still, what I envision happening here is that whenever this lockup finishes, just before it, this price is going to tank. I'd be willing to bet money that this price tanks like maybe 10 or so hours, maybe more, before anyone has any access to dump 1.2 million of these whales into the market. I'm personally not going to get involved with this. I mean, I wouldn't get involved either way. It's on Binance Smart Chain, and I don't really do any kind of DeFi over there because Polygon is essentially free. But even if it was on Polygon, I would stay so far away from this project, I wouldn't be able to see it with binoculars. Like, for real, I'm out on this one. Anyway, let me know what you guys are going to do. You guys going to ape into this project? I mean, Jesus, I hope not. But if you made it this far into the video, thank you for your support. I want to give you a little bonus snippet with some new information. So I cut that video yesterday, and this morning, right before I was supposed to finish editing, I came to the website and checked and saw that the price had tanked, and it looks like it was an obvious rug pull. Who would have thought? When you click the docs, it doesn't exist anymore. There's no way to get that information anymore. And if you look at the circulating supply, you can see here that there's 94,889 when no one should have been able to harvest for another day, almost 2 days. Now, what I personally think is that the devs took that 9% that they were getting from emissions, and instead of it being locked in some regular wallet, I think that they just had a wallet they had access to. They gave the wallet permission to sell. They probably gave themselves permission to not be a part of the whole anti-whale thing, and they just dumped it on the market, on everybody. This is a shame. Anyway, what else can we learn from this? So I still had the audits up. So if you go to the tech rate audit, what I've learned from this is that tech rate is trash, and the audit from tech rate is no longer available. The Mythics audit is still here. And if you look at the medium vulnerabilities, all have to do with renouncing ownership, transferring ownership. Now, I don't code, so I can't make heads or tails out of most of this, but what I do notice is that the one thing that I thought was very suspect about this, since it's a Panther fork, is that if you don't renounce ownership or operatorship, there is a very good possibility that this exact situation could come about. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and when I see you in the next video, we'll be talking about all the ways we're stacking more coins.